As we get started on the tour of my new book, Faith, the Salesman Creed, How My Father's Faith Shaped My Career in Car Sales and Real Estate, it's my joy and it's my inspiration that this book will inspire a lot of people, and the power of faith shall resonate with you as you listen about my story of faith. To get started, I want to talk about what I understand about faith. One of the key attributes of faith is vision, action, courage, perseverance, and determination. Why I come up with this is when you go back to the father of faith himself, who is Abraham. Abraham is the father of faith, and through faith, he was named the friend of God. And when you read in the book of Genesis, Genesis 12, Abraham was called by God to move from his land to a land that God was going to show him. When he left with his brother's son. His name was Lot. And when they arrived to where God had showed them, when they got there, Lot picked a better site, which was in River Jordan. And God promised Abraham to go to Canaan. And when he looked at the dust that was in the ground, God promised him that his descendants will be as much as the sand. Remember, Abraham has no son. He had no son. At 75 years old, God promised him a son, but he did not have that son until he was 100 years old, and his wife was 90 years old. So you can see there was a vision to a promised land. There was the perseverance of 25 years. There was the belief by Abraham that God was going to fulfill his promise. So when you go through the topic of faith, you have to understand those principles, that you have to have a vision for what you believe in for. You have to have the courage to take the journey, to take the first step towards that vision. It will even inspire you to move out of your own country. In my story, I left Kenya. I remember when I bought the ticket, I told my dad, we might not have enough money for school, but we have enough money for the ticket. So I'm going to take a step of faith. And if this faith can take me to Minneapolis airport, then I will come back to you and tell you that this is how far faith can do. That's the risk I took. My dad hugged me and he said, I'm going to believe with you. It was only a couple of days that we had what we were needing to pay for the school. And that's how my life started. And guess what? 4 years later, it was my dad coming out of the airport in Minneapolis, coming to my graduation. So this is a story that I can literally articulate how action, courage, determination, perseverance is part of it. So as you impact on the journey of faith, know those principles, prepare yourself, have that vision, have the courage, take the first step that God guides you towards that principle. So I look forward sharing with you about more stories about my book, and may you be blessed and may you be inspired. If you haven't get a copy yet, get a copy. Invite me to your church, to your organization, and I will sign those books for you. Thank you and be blessed.